If your life was in danger, what would give you the strength to survive? When Cambodia was taken over by the communist regime, Sarah M. found herself in a forced labor camp where her health failed and she was left to die. Listen today for her incredible story of God's grace and love in her life. Sarah, thank you so much for joining me on the Grace Cycle Show. I'm happy to have you here today.
Oh, thank you for inviting me to be your guest today.
Oh,
Thank
of
you.
course. Of course. So I'm going to invite you to just start us off by sharing your story of how God showed up in your life with his grace in maybe in something that was impossible.
Yeah, sure. I'll share with you my journey in Cambodia. Let's start when I was a teenager. I lived in a countryside. My parents are farmers, and then later on they changed direction and they become a small merchant. And then one day, my mom had an accident and she became paralyzed.
Mm.
Paralyzed. And I am the firstborn child. I'm the only daughter, and the rest are my brothers. But as my mom became paralyzed, they had to shut down their business, and I had to take care of my mom. But my care for mom is very different. I care with my love and my compassion. I want her to get well. So it took us 4.5 years for my mom to get back to normal. Well,
Wow.
not really normal, but she was able to walk again. By the time she can walk, I was ready to go to college. So I left home, went to the capital city, attending college. And only less than a year later, the communist regime took over a country.
Mm.
And when they came in the military equipment, truck, weapon, and soldiers, and they came in the city and they shut down everything, shut down the school, shut down every marketplace. So there's nothing working. That means I cannot go home. I got stuck and I cannot call or send a letter because the post office was closed. So we have not heard from each other all this year of commotion. It's just very painful to know that I cannot contact my family and they
Mm.
don't know where I was. Well, it was very painful. But thank goodness God allowed me to be close to my uncle. My uncle and his family live in the suburb of the city, so I was able to tag along with them. So my uncle was kind of trying to protect me, but when they evacuate the city, we had to walk. There is no way around it, so we walk on the street and sleep on the street and eat the leftover food until it's gone. When it's gone, it's gone. And then we got to a faraway village. And then we stayed temporarily with somebody in the village. And then they made announcement they want to take some people who want to go to Bandambong. Bandambong is my hometown.
Mm.
So when I heard that, I raised my hand. I said, me. And my uncle and his family accommodated me to go with me. So when we got to, they 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 leave us in the middle of nowhere. They did not bring us to where they promised. So we are left in the middle of nowhere. But I was so restless because my goal is to find out what happened to my family, where
Right.
they are. And I want to be there to help out, especially my mom who just recovered.
Hmm.
But I got stuck. I could not go anywhere. And I am being held in a forced labor camp, a work camp for
Oh.
single people.
Mm.
Single people, that means you are the top of your energy, right? They can push you to the limit. So I work very hard, long hours under the hot sun, starved, exhausted, and then eventually sick. So later on, I become very sick, and I still struggle to go to work even though I was sick. But eventually, I cannot keep going because my sickness is getting worse and worse. So they send a sick people like me to an infirmary. I call it infirmary. They call it hospital. But that hospital doesn't have doctor or nurse or medication. So it's just a place for us to go and just sleep there and lay down and waiting for time to die. And to die. So my heart was beating, pounding, and I don't want to die before I see my family.
Right.
So I start to pray. I pray, I ask God, please help me. Help me to survive. All I want is to survive. I lost everything during the move, during the evacuation. I lost my uncle, my family. Now I just beg for my life. So after praying for several nights, one morning I woke up very early before everybody. So it just something nudged me to get out from here. So I walk out from the infirmary, walk back to the the working people. So before I got there was young team leader saw me coming, and she was so kind and compassionate because I was so frail, so sick. And she said, "Oh, you stay with me. I will help you."
Wow.
So she realized that I'm too sick to do anything, but you can now not do anything outside of the hospital. So she had to go and she talked to the people at the kitchen. She said, I have somebody who might be able to help you in the kitchen. Can you take her? And they said, yeah, yeah, we can take her. So they took me in the kitchen. And right there, I I realized, wow, my prayer worked. God answered my prayer. You
Wow.
know, this is the best place that God come up with, because if they send me to the rice field again, I cannot survive. So working in the kitchen, that means I work less hours, work in the shade. I get more access to food. I sleep a little bit longer, get some more time for rest. So all in all, it's just a better situation than the other situation. So gradually, I start to feel better. So eventually, I look a little bit normal again, and they pull me out. When the big guys saw me, oh, she look okay. She can go work in the rice field. So they pull me out and throw me back in the rice field again. But I'm still grateful. I'm still grateful that I have this opportunity to work in the kitchen to recover myself. I get this break time. Otherwise, I would not be able to continue. So I went back to work in the rice field like everybody else for 4 long years. Horrible,
Wow.
horrible time. But with hope, I have hope all this time that for some reason, I feel like, oh, this cannot be like that forever. It's impossible. No country will go through something like this for a long time. So it's going to end soon. That's my hope. And my hope that, sometime soon I will be able to go back to my hometown and look for my family, help out my family again. So that's my hope. And during my time that I took care of my mom, we built such a strong love relationship that nothing can break us.
Yeah.
So my love for my family was so strong that I would do anything to survive.
Mm.
So after 4 years, something going on, which I don't know, but the armed guards start to move all of us. Well, this in this camp there were originally was about 1,000 people, 1,000 men and women. But after 4 years, we have a lot less. We
Right.
probably have less than 300 people. So yeah, we lost a lot of people. So they start to push us to move to the forest, to the jungle. So I didn't know what to do. I just followed the order. So after a few weeks, I realized we are going deeper into the jungle. I don't want to keep going. I want to go find my family. But jungle, I would never have a chance to see my family. So I start to think about running away to escape. But I was so frail, just skin and bone. So I asked three of my good friends, I said, we need to escape. Would you go with me? Thank goodness. They said, yes,
Mm.
yes, yes, we'll go with you. We help you. So I'm so grateful for my friend. We pull it off. Well,
Wow.
it's the most dangerous escape because at that time, if you run away from them, they think that you are a traitor. You
Right.
you betray them. So they will kill you on the spot. It's very dangerous. But we wait until nighttime. Hopefully they don't see us run away. But they didn't. We sneak out, but it was a very difficult time for us because we don't know where to go.
Mm.
Where should we go? We don't know. We don't have any map. We don't have any no GPS. No,
Right.
in the jungle. Oh my. So, but I think by the grace of God, God
Hmm.
protected us from the gunshot, protected us from stepping on dangerous snake or anything like that. I just cannot believe that we pull it off. We pull it off.
Mm.
When the day come, we were far away from them. We were free. We keep walking, keep walking. What we try to do is to trace back where we came from, just to trace back. But in the middle of the night, dark, black, dark, there's no light in the jungle. But thank goodness we did not get lost wandering in the jungle. We came out and then we saw some people walking. And I was wondering why these people are walking so freely. What happened? But I have nobody to ask. And I just asked for direction. How to go to Bangkok, how to go. And some people know the direction and they just point at me, go that way, that way. So you just follow direction. When you keep walking barefoot for a long time. So finally, we got to my hometown, to where my house used to be. And when I got there, there's no house. The house was destroyed.
Mm.
My family was not there. I couldn't find them. I asked people around there, nobody know what. No, we don't know who you are talking about.
Wow.
So, but anyway, I remember I have an aunt. My aunt used to be a nurse before the war. And I say, oh, maybe my aunt work in a hospital. So let's go to the hospital. Thank goodness the hospital is in operation. So everything was working a little bit better than when I was in the camp. So I found my aunt at the hospital, and she told me where my family live, and she told me where her house is. So go to my house and have one of my daughter take you to your parents' house. So that's how I found my family.
Oh,
Yeah, finally I
wow.
found my family. And when I got home, my mom did not recognize me. I was so skin and bone. I was 26, but I look no 25. I look like 95.
Oh,
So my mom was so shocked, but she was so happy that I'm still alive, still alive. But I asked, where is dad? And she said, oh, your dad is riding the bicycle every day, asking people, have you seen my daughter? Have you seen my daughter? Every
mm,
every day looking for me. So now I'm home. I'm so thankful that I'm alive.
yeah.
God answered my prayer, and I found my family, and my mom pamper me with her food, her beautiful, delicious organic food. And I
Mm,
keep eating because I was so sick and so skinny. And say, I don't care if I become fat. I'd rather be fat than skinny and sick. And
right.
so it took more than a year for me to recover, to look a little bit normal.
Mm,
And then the country was still very messy, very chaotic. Everything, there's no law, no rule, no government because the communist regime destroyed everything.
mm,
They want to rebuild the country from the ground up, and they kill all intellectual. They kill all the people that have some kind of knowledge and anything. So the country was still very much messy. My mom had an idea. What her idea was, she pushed me to get out from Cambodia.
mm,
Say, you need to leave, get out from Cambodia, go find my cousin. He is in United States somewhere. Just go look for him. Maybe he can help you. So I went to close to the border of Cambodia and Thailand, and again escaping one more time. This also very dangerous because the along the border they protect their border. They have people with gun, with bomb, with all kind of weapon. But we took a chance. My mom paired me up with one of her cousins, and when we got too close to the border, we wait to see if anybody else crossing the border, and we joined the group and we went with them. We walked all night long, go through the creek, the water, the mud, but finally we got to the other side.
wow.
And again, God was with us. Nobody got harmed, got injured, anything. When we got to the other side, we found a refugee camp that was set up by the United Nations. So I registered in the refugee camp and then did the research, a search for my uncle. And then I found him and he sponsored me to come. That's how I got to United States. Yeah.
Mm,
It's a long journey. I'm sorry I take a little bit longer to tell my
that's okay.
story.
Well,
Uh,
there's so many just little, I mean, big things, but just so many details where God showed up, like waking up early that morning when you were in the hospital and walking out and finding somebody who cared enough not to send you back to the hospital to die, but to give you a job working in the kitchen.
yeah.
And then having the friends when you were all going into the jungle who said, "Yes, we'll escape with you." And then of course God's protection and all of that.
Mhm.
And then being able to find your way back to your hometown, find your family, your parents were still alive. That's so many things that God did to bring you to the United States. And now, I mean, this was back in the mid 1970s, right? So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So another place that God showed up when I crossed the border from
Mm,
Cambodia to Thailand, there are a flood of people that went before me, but a lot of them died
mm.
because the Thai soldier pushed them to get on the bus and they drove the bus and dumped them in the minefield, push them, push them to go back to Cambodia through the minefield.
Oh,
So thousands and thousands of people die. But because I was late coming to the border. All that thing was done because the United Nations found out what happened. Oh, I forgot to mention, when I got to my home and talked to my mom, my my mom told us that our country was liberated 4 months ago.
mm,
That's why people are walking freely. It's not like me. I was still in captivity.
mm,
Yeah.
mm.
So that's the delay that God make it happen.
Right.
God protected me from going to the first group that went to Thailand. A lot of them died. So it's just so many layers that God protect me. And as I think back, I see every little detail that God was with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, and something as you said about the country had been liberated 4 months before you got back. So you were living as though you were in captivity, even though technically you were free.
Mhm.
And and I think so many times, even as Christians, we tend to live as though we're still in captivity to our enemy, to our sin habits, to addictions, even though Jesus has set us free. But once we find out that we're free, then we can live differently.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, wow. And so you made it to Thailand later than you would have wanted to, but again, in God's timing, he rescued you. He saved your life and protected you.
Yeah.
Yeah, came to the United States with your uncle, and then you've established a life here in the United States now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. As soon as I got to United States, well, I got help from the woman ministry from the local church.
Ah,
Yeah. My mom's cousin that sponsored me to come, he need to move out of Connecticut before I arrive because he need to take a new job.
mm,
So before he moved out, he talked to the church that my niece is coming, but I need to move to my new job. So they have a beautiful group of women ministry that helped me so much, so much.
mm.
In fact, I just went to visit one of them 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I went back to Connecticut to visit one of those ladies. And this one, her name is Mary. She's in her 90s now. She was so excited to see me again. We haven't seen each other for a long time.
Mm,
So beautiful people that helped me get start my new life in the United States. Godly people.
yeah. I'm wondering how, we have a lot of refugees still coming to the United States. And how can a church support and help refugees within their own community the way that these women supported and helped you?
Well, the church had to be willing to do and have enough volunteer and have some fun maybe, not a whole lot.
Mm,
Because although when I came, I had no money, not even a penny,
mm,
not even a penny. So the first 2 months, the church paid the rent for me. But only the first 2 months. And then later on, I work and I get my money and all that. I took care of myself, but only a little bit of money, maybe buy some furniture and fill the apartment for me. And also, I did not have brand new stuff. I don't care because I came from nothing. I have all the used furniture, all the used clothes, coats and boots and hats and gloves, all that secondhand. I don't care because it
Mhm.
keep me warm and it's so kind of them to have all these supplies for me. So the church can still support the refugee now, now that they need help. So any help will be wonderful because they come with nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. And it doesn't always have to be a lot, but a few people helping with what they can
Mm,
make a big difference. And that is pouring out God's grace in the lives of somebody who really needs it.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So great. Did your parents end up staying in Cambodia?
Well, the first few years that after I left, they stay,
Hmm.
and then later on, my mom get robbed. They robbed my mom.
Oh,
My mom was just skin and bone and just sell some grocery for a living, and they come in and rob her. And she
mm,
was so mad, and she said, "I'm going out. I'm going to find my daughter. If I have to die on my way, so be it." So she came with all my brothers.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah. And of course, this was back in the days before we had cell phones and internet and emails. So I'm imagining a lot with the communication was challenging as well. You know, we had to used to have
Yeah.
to pay for long distance phone calls and international phone calls and things.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm. Yeah. And so now you've written a book based on your experience. So in a minute, I'm going to ask you to share like a big takeaway for our listeners. But first, tell us about your book, what it's about, where we can get a copy of it.
My book is called How I Survived the Killing Field. It's just straightforward story. This is how it looked like. There's a picture of
Mm.
me on my younger age, like 10 years ago. I look a little bit better, right? But it's
You're beautiful,
available.
Sarah.
It's available on my website, saraim.com,
Okay.
SARAIM.com/book, and they
Okay.
will find my book.
So the book tells about your experience living there and then how God rescued you, how you were able to get out of Cambodia, surviving the killing fields.
Yeah, a lot more detailed
Right.
than our conversation today.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it sounds fascinating. So sarahim.com, people can get a copy of your book and connect more with you.
Yes, yes.
So, if there's one big takeaway that you would like our listeners to leave this conversation with, just the one big thing you want people to hear, what would that be?
I would say have faith deeply in with love. Your faith is come from love. So
Mm,
my faith come from loving my family and believing that God will take me back to my family. So we have to have something to hold on when we are in the rough water, like the storm is blowing a lot of big wave to us. We have to have something to hold on. For me, I hold on to my love for my family and believe in my faith that God will help me to be back
mm,
and have hope. When we have faith, we have hope. When we have love, we have hope. So believe me, when you have strong love, you will have everything. You will have hope, you have faith, you have determination, you have positive attitude. It just having love in your heart will help you survive any challenge.
mm. That's beautiful. Yes. The people we love, the people we're deeply connected with, that is always a source of strength. And God is right there in that relationship and in that love.
Yeah, God is love. When we
Yes.
have love, we have God. So
Sarah, thank you so much for your time and for sharing your story with us today. I'm really encouraged and I'm so grateful that you are here.
me too, Karen. And I'm so grateful that I have opportunity to share my story. I hope that my story will give people hope. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if I can get through this, you too can get through anything that you put your mind to it.
Amen. Thank you.
Well,
As I reflect on Sarah's story, I'm thinking about how God did many miracles to keep her alive, but she also was determined to survive and return to her family. That's how I often see God's grace at work. We do what we can, and He does what we can't. So if you're facing an impossible situation, I'd encourage you to continue to rely on God for help, but also ask Him what is your part, how you can cooperate with Him in His work. It's not that God helps those who help themselves, but God doesn't want us to sit helpless in our circumstances either. In the book I wrote, Thriving in Grace, Unleashing Wellness from a Biblical Perspective, I wrote about what I learned studying God's grace. You can download that chapter of the book from my website, KarenADittman.com. And so that's all for today. Until next time, remember to get curious, stay connected, and live in grace.